hollow hands, grass underneath body. A place for the soul to grow alongside fever and silence, and the trifling chatter convulsing within the wind as it slips through my fingers. Movements are no more. I gaze or fixate, imbricate space, a dwelling nailed to coarse ground. Mazes, I understand. Places, I can no longer find again. Tap on my shoulders, breathe heavily on my neck. Come morning I won't remember or feel remnants, once familiar, now distant. Landscapes slither into fog, become a collective unworthy of detection. A transition from all those little things, reverberating faintly beyond a measurable distance. Thank you. These two are very short, so I'm just going to read them in a small space in between. And I will just say space between. Okay. Anti-meridium, post-meridium, timeless. Saturated, absorbed, cut loose, exposure to a sky filled with no blinking eyes. I forget beauty like this exists here. Wherever it is, we truly are. Space. Sing it, King. It's all gone and our arms will never be open for anyone, not even ourselves. Moving along, nameless and complacent, traveling to those places out in the open and far beyond our condition. The sound is too overwhelming, and I have no will to orchestrate. So this poem is kind of inspired by John Logan because I love ducks for some reason, and I was thinking about ducks one day. No, me and my father used to go feed ducks when I was a kid, so I was just thinking about it. And ducks are pretty weird, so why not? Nothing will ever compare to those days of bread and the ducks that always managed to elude. Water shifts now as it did back then. Only our presence is no longer the fixation of its rifts. When the sky opens up, I see those ducks that mocked us with their beaks whenever we weren't prepared for them. Those stupid little birds aimlessly jolting across ponds, lakes, and oceans. I remember them, the mallard with its green head taunting me with its movements. With no memory of who I am, who you are, yet I think about them all the time. Their ability to forget so easily. When I see those ducks in my eyelids, I convince myself they're just unable to think, and that's why they don't remember me. Ducks just keep living, eating bread, and forgetting where they are. But I'll never forget the first time I saw a duck with my father at the park, where I thought they would never forget who we were. Okay. I never talked this much. I'm very excited today.
Yeah? We're excited to have you, Vincent. We're excited to have you.
Let's go with this one. Wind stretches around the concrete that intrudes from the ground, knowing nothing of the intricacies of devotion, only the pressure and demand of frantic limbs as they harden and erase the patterns that swirl, unseen. By the lake, sunlight bounces off water into my eyes, and I spit it all back out with a lash of my tongue, a parting of my lips. I find it assuring when the sun finally comes out on a rainy day, even if it's only for a brief moment that I miss. Because I used to think we were all in this big puddle together, trying to claw out, but content with remaining drenched in one another. But now I know it's just my hand searching for something to keep me from drowning, to keep me awake and safe. Bodies of water have different intentions. People have no interest in one another, and fish know nothing of weather. For you, and that smile that ignites any room you grace, You make me want to forget words. And beyond the flowers, weeds torn from the ground, we run towards water, embracing currents. In your eyes, I see a spring that never ends. Water gathers aimlessly, looking for a residence in your fingertips as they scoop and expose sand. We're at like a couple minutes.
How do you feel?
You gotta brace me.
What do you feel
I'm
like?
feeling like I can run a mile right now.
Well, let's not run a mile.
No, I'm kidding. That was a figure of speech, John. I'm gonna read like 2 more. I can, but very slowly.
That's called a walk.
Okay, I'm gonna read about 2 or 3 more, and this should be a couple minutes. It'll be quick. I'm not trying to take the spotlight here. So. This one I wrote. I'm not gonna fucking tell you what.
Just do it. Just do it.
I'm tired of writing and trying to connect the dots when they just need to be left alone, given some time to find themselves, hanging in the sky, the parking lot of the mind, and realize that they are shining brighter on their own than they ever would have together. I'm walking away from the page before it's too late and I forget why I came here in the first place. Because to me, it's not about how much I produce, it's about how I reflect and find myself in words. Sooner or later, we'll all look back and realize all of our days ended the same way they began, with our heads down and our arms reaching outward toward the promise of infinite possibility. We had the desire for something monumental, but we were willing to settle. That's where we let ourselves down. Okay, so I'm going to read one more. Adhere to what is focal and direct your attention where it should go when you break under the torture of sleep, or the place you envision to resemble the concept of sleep when you are awake, counting the ways to make your life stop quicker than cars on Broadway or the BQE after an accident. Weren't you there, conscious when the sky braided your hair, and for a moment, for a second, for a minute, you just fell to your knees, admitted that it was all a dream you had while you were roaming the streets of New York or Wyoming? Wherever it is, you lay your head to forget those tides of breath that always swept you off your feet, back onto me. And when you whisper, I swear to God, everybody hears what you have to say. And in that way, you're always around. I envision you on a train somewhere, as it moves through the grooves of cities, your hair detached from your forehead, eyes blinking under every tunnel, hands folded on your lap, waiting for the amiable sound of conversation to float across some river and save you from yourself. Thank you.